There it is. Sorry about that. Hello? Hello? Sorry about that, ladies. Okay, there we go. That should be better. Sorry about that. I got a new headset, and there's definitely some things I should have sorted out before we got started. My bad. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen, in this Nexus Gaming Series match in the heroic division between Boomer Gaming and Inting for Globes. Boomer Gaming has, in fact, banned Sky Temple and Garden of Terror, and Inting for Globes has banned the two double lane maps with, excuse me, Braxis Holdout and Battlefield of Eternity, meaning we do have Infernal Shrines on the docket as our game number one. We're just waiting for both teams to be ready here. But thank you for your patience. Sorry, I didn't realize there would be, excuse me, that level of technical interestingness. But we will fix it. We will fix it. Uh, so we're going to be here, and we're going to be casting this match. Now, most of the teams in Heroic will tell you that playing Inting for Globes is it's going to be a real challenge. So expect to see an Inting for Globes win tonight, but this is why we play the game. Sometimes teams pull out something crazy, and we get to see a magical moment. And then we're all glad that we're here for it. I also am kind of battling off a headache tonight, so I may not be quite as crazy daisy as I am sometimes, but we should still have a lot of fun. So, Infernal Shrines is a game that you can win in a lot of different ways. Um, you can go macro, you can go team fights, you can go poke, a lot of different ways, but we're going to jump into the draft right now. So the map was picked by Boomer Gaming, meaning first pick and first ban will go over to Inting for Globes. So as we get into it, again, we have seen the much shorter pick ban segments in Storm League. That is not the same for custom games. They still have their full time, but they're not going to need it, as Johanna is insta-banned from Inting for Globes, making sure that tank who can provide value in a lot of different ways and fit into a lot of different comps is taken off the table. Boomer Gaming will now have an opportunity to try and remove something that they don't want to see played against them. So, and it's going to be Junkrat, an excellent hero for controlling egress and ingress points. And if you have any kind of hard CC, his ability to follow up with a mine and knock them into your team, preventing them from being saved, can be incredibly frustrating. So, a really good pick, or a really good option for banning, because he is a character that, despite his damage being kind of over time, he's still an incredibly strong character at forcing your opponents to be where they don't want to be. Plus, he's a DPS with hard CC in the traps. Blaze. So it looks like Inting for Globes is just removing some of the best characters in slot. Johanna and Blaze are really strong tank off lanes, and so those are gone to force people onto slightly less optimal characters. The Maiev is banned here, so obviously there's somebody on the side of Inting for Globes who likes that character, but Diablo will be chosen first. Fuzz on the Lord of Terror here on the Infernal Shrines. Plus, I believe they're on the side where they will be going, where they will be on the side of the Burning Hells. So it's all very lore appropriate, folks. In case you were wondering. In case you were wondering. So these will be the only two picks that Boomer Gaming gets before the second ban phase, so they're going to have to make good use of these picks. And we're going to see Dahaka and Hansa come out. Dahaka still incredibly strong with the global ability. Can definitely help you if you're if you're a quarter of a level behind, he can soak and then move immediately to the area. And Hanzo is just an excellent all-around character. He can try to, if you only need 3 or 4 to go, but you've been pushed off point, he can clean that up. He can also do good damage from a ways away. He doesn't offer much in terms of percent health damage, but the Dragon Arrow can be an absolute game changer. And on the far side, we see Hogger and Tychus picked up by Concept and Juan Pablo. So we've got the Tychus good at burning down pretty much anybody he wants to with that trait of his, and Hogger is an excellent offlaner, and especially on this map, if you get the right angles, you can spin indefinitely around the point, clearing minions, and positioning yourself to jump into the team fight at pretty well any time. The last ban will come out for BoomerGaming, and they banned the Medivh, which would be pretty strong with Diablo and Hogger, so a good choice to be gotten rid of. A Medivh played at this level is likely a very terrifying thing. Now, the first 2 bans were very quick, and this third one is no exception. Brightwing banned immediately, well, about halfway through the ban phase, from Inting for Globes. So now we've got a tank, a healer, and 1 more DPS, or the flex spot, still open to the members of BoomerGaming as they look to solidify their comp with these next 2 picks. The Haka and Hanzo can fit into most kinds of comps, but these next 2 picks will inform Inting for Globes what composition they're going to see here. We see Anduin, Muradin, still not a particularly highly committal, just really 2 really good in-slot characters. Anduin with great throughput and the good pull. Muradin, a great tank no matter how you slice it. So at this point, this is still a roster that can do pretty well anything. I'd say they're not great at dive, but other than that, they can macro, they can micro, they can kind of do what you like. So the last 2 picks will come out. We're going to see Falstad to match that Dahaka Global Pressure, and the Ariel. Probably one of the best healer throughputs right now. She can absolutely match Anduin heal for heal. Doesn't have a cleanse, but I mean, if your team, there's not a ton of hard CC on the far side yet, so it may not be necessary. Plus, if someone gets killed with the worst CC, death, you can just resurrect them. The very last pick is coming out. It's in the flex slot for iFeed, and he is going to pick Greymane, which will give them good clear and good race and good camp clear as well. So this is it, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 1 between BoomerGaming and Inting for Globes will be played on Infernal Shrines. These are our drafts. Let's see what these teams bring us in game number 1. And again, the heavy favorites, I've heard from heroic level players, the heavy favorites in every series in this division is going to be Inting for Globes and potential Scrim Thursday. So again, they are the heavy favorites, but again, there's a reason we play the games. So let's have a look at what game number 1 gives. On the side of the high heavens, we have the blue team, BoomerGaming. Greymane, played by iFeed Dope Monster on Hanzo, Kalavoth on Muradin, Chronicler playing Dahaka, and E-Bagatron is on the Anduin. Representing the Burning Hells, we have Juan Pablo 64 on Tychus, Fuzz playing Diablo, Kav Kivar, the Angel swapping sides, Ariel, how could you? Concept is playing Hogger, and Falstad being played by Storm Brandon. Hogger immediately going to the top lane. And the rest of the team looking to perhaps cause a rotational problem here, as the blue team just looks to clear this first mid wave. And they are being safe. Again, they know that their opponents can be tricky. And when rotating down the safe way. So looking at the level 1 talents that we have here, we do have Viciousness from our Greymane. We've got Redemption from the Hanzo, not something we commonly see, but it can be pretty good. We got Third Wind for the Muradin, so the ability to step out of a fight and step back in at almost full health. I believe it stops at 80%. 60%. Oh, okay. We've got the Race Card to Haka with Enhanced Agility. Ooh, Kalavoth taking a lot of damage there from Juan Pablo. And we've got the Power Word Shield from the Anduin. On the other side, we do have quarterback for Tychus, as Inting for Globe starts their siege camp here, their Khazras. We got Soul Shield for Diablo, Searing Light for the not Anduin, Ariel, which gives her damage with her W, and On the Prowl for Hogger, and we got the Boomerang Gathering Storm for Falstad here. So both teams are able to take their siege camps, and Dahaka seems confident enough to double soak here, giving his team the opportunity to add a little more pressure here in the bot lane. Calavoth looking here for a surprise engage from the bottom. But Inting for Globes is just going to rotate away support concept as he clears away the siege causer camp in the mid, while Fuzz keeps an eye out again for a rotational advantage. Both teams hitting 4 at almost precisely the same time. And it looks like the blue team, they let them take that so they could take the bottom camp, give themselves a slight experience advantage on camps. iFeed and Dope Monster will stay down here to clear this. Well, it does look like Murden and Anduin are going to come clear this camp, but they're going to be very careful. Dope Monster is jumped on by Dahaka. Storm Brandon putting a lot of damage onto the Hanzo, but he does manage to get away. First Blood has not been accomplished yet. Oh, one of these days we're going to do a golf cast for Heroes of the Storm, but maybe this isn't the right game for it. And here we see Juan Pablo and Cav Kivar taking the Bruiser camp in the top right, and over on the top left, we do see BoomerGaming take their Bruiser camp as well, and that's an excellent choice of timing. Those camps will go at the same time. No, we won't be that silly tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But we do see they're setting up for the first shrine, and this first shrine looks like it will be a mortar shrine. Both offlaners still on the top. This will give a slight advantage to BoomerGaming because Dahaka can go down immediately while Concept will have to rotate, which will take a few more seconds. Both of them looking to clear out this camp. Chronicler with the drag. It doesn't hit either Concept or the Shaman here, which is who you'd like it to hit. In the bottom, it does look like Inting for Globes has managed to body away their opponents here. 5 stacks of redemption for the Hanzo so far. 23 stacks of the Hammerang for Falstad here. Calavoth is taking a lot of damage, but they get Ariel and kill her, but Calavoth will go down. It's healer for tank here. While we do have Chronicler down already, Concept is coming in. This is now a 4v4, and without their healer, any damage that BoomerGaming managed to put on will stick. So it does look like Concept and Storm Brandon will step away to clear that wave, and it looks like, in fact, the very first Punisher, this Mortar Punisher, will go over to the members of BoomerGaming. The kills are 1-1 after that first fight, the healer and the tank going down on each team. Falstad is flying down now. The jump is onto Diablo. They're going to look to take this front gate as this demon kind of swaps side. The pullover from iFeed, but the pull immediately from a Bagatron so that damage can't be put onto them. They do clear that Immortal very quickly, and it only puts about 2% damage on the fort. So they're not able to get as much value as they may have hoped from that, but even just getting that win in the early game is a big deal. So iFeed is mid, clearing a wave. Chronicler is top, pushing a wave in. These teams are at a dead heat in terms of experience. And, yeah, it's been great so far. Fuzz pushing back Calavoth, making sure that they can't invade on this camp. They are rooting. There's the tongue. Again, Chronicler comes out immediately, blow up Ariel again. It seems like they've got a game plan in this game, and it's punished the immobility of Ariel. And that's 2 kills now off of great drags by Chronicler onto the Ariel. We do have a pause, which means we will switch screens here. Do we have a disconnect? I don't see one. Well, that doesn't mean there isn't one. Oh, Hogger did DC. So we're just waiting for the reconnect here. While we're waiting, so again, we mentioned earlier, Inting for Globes, always the favorite, and sometimes it just comes down to late game decision making. But so far, the early game has looked really crisp, really clean, and just very chosen, very, very clear in the minds of BoomerGaming. And they're doing a very good job of forcing Oriole to pay for the fact that she doesn't have a lot of mobility. She only has 1 peel ability and no cleanse. So we have the R from one team. We're just waiting to get the R from the other. It seems like the disconnect has reconnected. And we'll count down and get back into this game. So, hi Calamancy. Oh, it's always a pleasure to cast, even when I'm not 100%. Love to do it. So we'll see both teams are now in a race to 10. They both want to be the first one to get their ultimate abilities and take a fight that is to their liking. But BoomerGaming, again, looking really good so far. You always kind of have to root for the underdog when you know that one team is a heavy favorite. Dope Monster takes a big chunk from Storm Brandon, and that's the problem. 29 stacks into Gathering Storm. His Qs, those hammerangs, are going to hurt. 10s will come out for both teams. We have the Cursed Bullet on Greymane. We have Dragon Arrow on the Hanzo. Avatar for Muradin. Isolation for our Dahaka. There's the flip. Oh, the Light Bomb comes out, but so does the Gust, and it doesn't manage to hit anyone. So we see 3 ultimates used, but no deaths because of it. Calavoth jumps out. And again, the volume will be a little lower of my voice today because I'm battling a headache, so please forgive. It will not be quite as hardcore as you're used to hearing from Ohmster. There's the Shockwave. Oh, so much damage is coming out. The pull on Dope Monster, but he's still killed by the Lightning Breath, and the Greymane goes down as well. And it's like this. It seems like this is exactly what the members, level 10, is what these members have been waiting for. Pop those ults and blow guys up. My goodness. So again, we have seen Light Bomb on Anduin. We've got Odin, Commandeer Odin specifically, for our Tychus, Lightning Breath for the Diablo, Crystal Aegis for Ariel, Shockwave, which we did see used by Hogger there, and the Gust. Now, they were looking to take their camp, but it is a 3v5. Here comes the Dragon's Arrow, and a big stun. They grab Ariel again, putting damage onto that healer, but their DPS characters are not here yet. The silence is onto Dahaka, but they blow up Ariel again. And Juan Pablo is using Odin, but that means Diablo's down. He did have 100 souls, though, which means he will be back in 5 seconds, and is coming now for the shrine. They jump onto the Hogger, who does use the spin to get out. I play Hogger, and I forget what that's called. Hog Wild. So, a 2-for-0 both ways. The ultimates used by Inting for Globes to get themselves 2 kills and push up, but then they find themselves in a bad situation. A great Dragon's Arrow from Dope Monster, and because the death cooldowns are so low, they manage to get a 2-for-0 the other way. Now, Ariel is returning. We only have 2 ultimates left up at the moment, Shockwave and the Cursed Bullet. And this time they're just going to go for their side camp. They're not going to contest this. This is a Frozen Punisher, which does carry more value in that it freezes buildings and roots heroes. And Inting for Globes will have to be careful in the way they deal with this Punisher, because it can cause problems if not handled well. But I trust that this team knows how to handle it well. So Hogger is going to push top with this camp. In the bottom, Chronicler is pushing Brandon. And in the mid, the Punisher is baited over. Fuzz gets away from it. It's punching at Juan Pablo. No, it's punching a minion, actually. So it's not doing much damage to this fort yet. It is going to shut it off there with a freeze. It jumps onto Fuzz's Diablo, who takes a lot of damage from the Cursed Bullet. Out comes the Crystal Aegis and the Gust. Dahaka is top, pushing back Concept here. No kills for either team there, and about a quarter of the health of this fort is brought down. Out comes the arrow. It does kit Concept. They're looking to kill him right now. The jump on from Ifeed and Calavoth, and an excellent gank, using that Storm Arrow to cause a kill when Chronicler had baited him in, and a fantastically clean rotate from the members of BoomerGaming. In response, Inting for Globes will take the bottom camp and look to put some damage onto the bottom gate. That's the thing. You can get all the kills you want, but if you don't get value from them and you lose a building in return, that's actually a bad kill. Now, they are getting but Avatar is popped. Lightning Breath comes out, but the pull from Ebagatron saves Calavoth's life. He is not killed. Excellent work there. So both teams make an attempt to kill someone, but only BoomerGaming manages to get it. So they will clear this camp while going for their own camp. Ifeed jumps onto their Khazra. Calavoth uses the Scouting Stormbolt, hits Fuzz in the back of the noggin. I've heard Lords of Terror do not like getting hit in the back of the noggin. That's just what I've heard. I guess I should have posted that I was doing this. The Dragon Arrows are nice. They are top-notch. Dope Monster is no dope at firing Dragon Arrows, I'll tell you. They're looking to put pressure on Chronicler, but he manages to stay safe by walking through the bushes, giving himself that speed. He does have 7 stacks of the enhanced agility. Fuzz is stepping up. Here comes the gust, though, at a great but there comes the light bomb is popped instantly to try to keep Ebagatron alive, but that means Calavoth will die, and Ebagatron is very low. Chronicler will come in, but it's too late. Someone's already dead. He does manage to grab Fuzz, but gets pushed away. He has to pop his trait. And this means that there's going to be an uncontested push here at the mid lane with the Khazra camp. iFeed takes the grenade, it gets chunked. And that was an excellent gust from Brandon. They baited them to come out just past the gate, and he came right here, gusted down, and that put them in a position where they just had no opportunity. There's the stun onto iFeed. He doesn't have a way to escape now. The Ebagatron pull is good, but not good enough. And the Worgen man will go down. In the bottom, we do see a big wave getting created here for the red team. Dahaka looking for opportunities to make a catch. Greymane will be up in 22 seconds. The kills are 5-5. There is but a half level need now for Inting for Globes. And they're going to try and look to win their first shrine. This is going to be an arcane shrine, so we will have seen one of each kind of Punisher through the first 3 shrines of this game. Calavoth is down here having a look, but they're not rotated here, and so it's Inting for Globes realizes there's no one here to defend this, and they just take the hard push onto the bot lane. And without a response, that's going to be 2 buildings down for no real response for BoomerGaming after some quick, decisive calls from the members of Inting for Globes. Now, the camp will come out. Storm Brandon putting pressure onto Chronicler, trying to kill this. The 2 globals are the ones who are up here right now. Hanzo, he's going to fire. It's going to hit Concept again, but there's no one there. Out comes the Cursed Bullet. The Light Bomb comes out, but unstoppable, so that will hit nobody. They jump onto Fuzz, but he's going to use the Lightning Breath on Ebagatron. Chronicler is in the back. Shoots Isolation onto Ariel. They're trying to kill her, but the DPS can't get back there. iFeed, Dope Monster, and Ebagatron are being completely walled here by Juan Pablo as Calavoth and Chronicler try to do it all themselves. They do kill the healer, but that's the end of Dahaka, and Muradin will go down too. And that Odin completely blocked the DPS and the healer from being part of that fight. You had a totally split fight. You had 3 here and 2 here. A decent opportunity to start with the Dragon Arrow, but again, just the absolute clarity of splitting that fight so perfectly with the Odin, beautifully responded to by the members of Inting for Globes, and they win that hard with a 2-for-1. So as we often see, this Inting for Globes will leave this at 39 out of 40 and try to get more pressure on the map by collecting different camps. They got the bottom Khazra. They're looking at their own Khazra camp and the top Bruiser. They push forward the mid lane. They're looking to steal this camp as well. Ebagatron scouts it out, sees that they're doing it, knows there's nothing they can do. And the last one will be captured by the Dwarf on a Duck. So there's a Khazra camp, a Catapult, and an Arcane Punisher all pushing in this bot lane against BoomerGaming. And they're going to have to work hard to make sure that they don't lose the game off this push. They want to try and get to 20. They are in the same talent tier. They are a level down. The Punisher will jump over and hit Calavoth. A good pull by Ebagatron, as he has taken the double pull Glyph of Faith at 16. The Odin is popped. The jump onto Calavoth by Fuzz. A good Storm Bolt to prevent that follow-up. Chronicler looking for the extra long tongue. It misses. They do flip Calavoth in the Whitmas, but out comes a Lightning Breath. But then the Crystal Aegis. So a little bit of lack of chemistry there in that moment. But the Punisher is still at 33% health. It's going to jump onto Calavoth again. Out comes the Light Bomb. Out comes the Dragon's Arrow. They get it. They jump onto Brandon and he's killed. He gets the Gusto, but he's murdered first. Calavoth at 600 health throws the Storm. Well, he's extra low, but Ariel managed to murder him with her Searing Light. It's a 1-for-1 so far. Chronicler jumping onto Fuzz. Juan Pablo doing so much damage to iFeed. Ebagatron just trying to keep him alive. The Punisher does go down, and the shields are not yet off the court, but they're defending this Khazra camp because they want to put some core damage out. They had have hit level 20s just now. It's big red button Hanzo goes down. Chronicler is low. The no control has come out and is blowing people up. That's the end of Dahaka. iFeed is at 200 health. He's dead. Ebagatron is all alone. Big red button for the Odin. Hellgate for Diablo. Shield of Hope from Ariel. No control we've seen, and the Wind Tunnel. But it doesn't matter. They're ending this game, and there's nothing Ebagatron can do about it. The game was really close until his last push, but game 1 goes over to Inting for Globes. GG. So the kill's fairly close here, 11-7. And the damage, not particularly huge differences in it. Tyke is highest, but then nothing crazy here. It wasn't so much who had the most kills, but when they were. And Inting for Globes just did a better job of following up on getting things when somebody had died. I think BoomerGaming did a great job of hunting Kavar. The 4 deaths attest to that. But Inting for Globes knew what to do when they didn't have a healer, so excellent work there as well. The Dragon Arrows were fire? Absolutely. I think Dope Monster nailed some big ones, and I think the fact, too, that they tried to use the Light Bomb and the arrow together to get them extra CC. I mean, that's how they blew up Brandon in that last fight as well. So, excellent, excellent game number 1. It was closer than maybe the standings would have you think, or the people who talk about Heroic would have you think, that every game that these guys play that Inting plays is a stomp, a no competition stomp. So, it does look like they're going to swap sides just to make my life difficult. And we will play game number 2 on Dragonshire. It looks like Concept is saying that Inting chose map number 2. So first pick will go over to the members of BoomerGaming this time. Thanks for following, Memezed. Appreciate it. I had to fix my stream elements because it was not telling me when people followed, and I don't like that. I like to appreciate people. So, just a monster of a game 1. Really looking forward to game 2 here. Again, sorry for the slightly less volume and energy. I am battling a headache, so I sound a little less like me. Thank you for the follow, Ebagatron. I appreciate that too. So we're just waiting for a last member to come in. Now, Dragonshire, I think, will really be a map that we see Inting for Globes be strong on. They're very, very good at deciding how many people, who to send where, how to use their resources most effectively, and Dragonshire is a map that rewards efficiency. Above all else, efficiency. Get that wave prio, get those waves pushing, get those camps, just do everything you can to be efficient. Don't send 3 heroes where 2 healers is, or don't send 2 heroes where 1 hero is enough. Don't send 4 heroes if you only need to send 3. You always need to make sure that you are the most effective, efficient team. And that's something that we've seen very strong for Inting for Globes. So we will see what this looks like here in game number 2. So we've gotten R's from both teams. The caster has also said R, hopefully to mean ready and not to mean ridiculous, but we shall see. We shall see. And we're going to hop into the draft of game number 2 between BoomerGaming and Inting for Globes. Inting for Globes with the lead. They do swap sides just to make my life difficult. Just kidding. It's probably a fairness thing. Now, last time, now this will be first pick and first ban over to BoomerGaming this time. As we said, Inting for Globes got to pick the map. Last time, the bans went very, very fast for Inting for Globes, so we'll see. Last time they banned Joe and Blaze. We'll see if they do so again, or if they have different targets for a map like this, where your offlaner sometimes wants to be a bit more of a duelist, or if you want globals. But the first ban will come out for BoomerGaming, and who they're going to choose is up to Chronicler, who is banning this game. Now, we don't see any substitutions on either team that I see, so it'll be the same 10 players. The first ban will be MyEv again. They did ban that last time, so again, there must be a person. I don't see Cure playing for Inting, but there must be someone on that team who's good at MyEv. But the ban, and already, I don't think they've been quite as quick. Last time their bans were just lickety-split quick. So a few more moments, Inting for Globes is taken as they ban, once again, the Johanna. We'll see if we get the same ban as last time. I don't recall. Oh, Junkrat was their other ban. So we'll see if they ban Junkrat again, and we have basically the same ban phase as we did in game number 1. And to quote Mario, here we go. It is Chromie who gets banned. So not Junkrat this time. Chromie can also be extremely strong on this map. She can give you vision over Tri-Brush. She can clear waves really well. And she can get super bursty when people are tucked in tight on that shrine. So excellent ban from the members of BoomerGaming. And again, a little bit longer on their ban this time. I suspect it won't be Blaze this time. I suspect they pick possibly a different offlaner who's more. No, the Brightwing. That was their third ban last time, but this time they prioritized banning the global presence of the Fruit Fly. So, first pick. They chose first pick for a reason. Let's see what hero from Heroes of the Storm they prioritize in this spot. It is the Junkrat. Dope Monster had some amazing dragon arrows. Let's see if he can do just as well on this Junkrat, which again can have a lot of control around these Dragon Shrine points. Now again, the two heroes that are picked now for Inting will be the only ones they get before the next ban phase, but they do take a Nubrak and Dahaka. Dahaka, incredibly strong on this map. Not the greatest duelist, but the ability to move around the map. There's lots of bushes. Lots of places to dig to, lots of places to get little speed bursts from. He can show incredibly well on this map. And Anubrak, another character with strong AoE stuns, and when people are tucked in tight areas, he can really help you win team fights. Now, we do see the Murahogger come out on the far side. Calavoth's Murden was pretty good last time. This time, these two offlaners have switched heroes. So this time we'll see how the matchup goes in reverse. It will now be a ban, and is the Sylvanas ban. Always a good ban. When she's with the Dragonite, she can really force sieges down. Or even if just one or two people from the other team dies, she can help you get a building really quickly, especially in the late game. So a good ban there. And we are going to see what the final ban will be for the members of BoomerGaming. Chronicler is probably hovering something right now, saying to his team, should we ban this? And they're going, well, you might as well. There's only 1 second left. Just ban it. And he bans the Phoenix. Interesting choice. I wouldn't have expected a Phoenix ban, but there's no doubt these teams do their homework, and they made a choice. So, the next two picks here, again, are going to kind of tell us the direction of this composition. Although with an Anubrak, we kind of already know. It's go hard or go home, and Greymane just doubles down on that. Really does great damage to buildings, does great damage to camps. And Stukov, one of the most frustrating characters to play against. Those puddles are pure poison. So look forward to seeing Cav Kavar pull those off. On the far side, we'll see the last two picks come out now for iFeed and eBagatron, so the healer in the flex position. We'll see if anything fun comes out, or if it is more standard meta. The Anduin will come out, and the Falstad. So again, they're going to swap characters, and now they have the global to match up against the Dahaka. Storm Brandon, the flex for his team, is going to get the last opportunity to pick to possibly counter Pakir. And again, this is very much a hard go-in team. Some safe wave clear would be nice here. But why play safe when you can play go hard or go home? We see the Kira. This team is looking to go in and kill you before you can say uh-ohs. So that's what they'll do. But these are the compositions we see. These are our two teams. Game number 2 between Inting for Globes and BoomerGaming is going to start right now. Also, if it sounds like a different person is playing the game or talking in these VODs, I did get a new headset that has a different microphone, so 'tis still me, 'tis still Ohmster. So, once again, this time they've swapped sides. So this time in the blue, we do have Inting for Globes. Juan Pablo 64 plays the Worgen Commander Greymane. Fuzz is on a Nubarak. Storm Brandon plays Kira. Concept is on Dahaka. And Cav Kavar follows up that Zerg feeling by playing Stukov. And in the red, we have BoomerGaming. Kalavoth playing Murden, King of the Dwarves. iFeed follows up that Dwarven feeling by playing the Dwarf on a Duck, Falstad. We've got Hogger played by Chronicler, Anduin played by Ebagatron, and Dope Monster is bringing the Australian with a taste for explosions, Junkrat. We do see both teams looking for an opportunity to be annoying in the early game to perhaps get a little bit of an advantage here. We have Viciousness for the Greymane at 1. Beetle build for the Nubarak. Maximum Effort, so a Q build on the Carnage for Akira. It is not Race Car Dahaka, it is Regenerate. It is Wolverine Dahaka with the Regeneration. So they are trying to catch Kalavoth on the rotation here. He's getting a lot of stuns, but not a lot of damage on him yet, so for now he will survive. We've got Low Blow from Stukov. On the far side, we have the Dwarf block, giving block stacks to the Murden. We do have the Hammering, so Gathering Storm Quest for iFeed's Falstad. I can't get Dwarf on a Duck out of my head, I'm sorry. On the Prowl build for Hogger, the most common. They are going to, but the Invade is coming too, and their characters are not in position to help. The Mine is put out. Here is the pull, but Chronicler tries to step back in. Good to see, but good healing as well. Kalavoth looking to stun Cav Kavar. The Mine, it does pop one off, but it's not enough. Kalavoth is now being jumped on. They're attacking Juan Pablo. He's at 2 hit points. He gets away. He walks away from that some way, somehow, and the Invade is successful. They killed Kalavoth, they stole their camp, and now Chronicler has a responsibility to clear this and to make sure they don't just lose this shrine for nothing. Kira is going to the bottom, and Fuzz on a Nubrak already waiting to take the Dragon Knight here as Juan Pablo starts on their Bruiser camp. There's nothing right now that BoomerGaming do. They do catch a kill Stukov, though, so that is a good opportunity to reduce the pressure that they will see, although their top 4 did take about 10% damage from the stolen camp. They are not about to give up that easily. So we do see Power Word Shield for the Anduin, as well as the Moral Compass, and extra wound timers for Junkrat. Dope Monster does take some damage to Kira, but does have his tap, is still alive. Chronicler is here, does get kicked into a corner. Nobody puts Hogger in a corner. Kalavoth throws the Stormbolt, it misses Concept, and he does use the Lurker Strain to get out all invisible-like. The kick will come out on Kalavoth. He's kicked into next week. If that's Kalavothe instead of Kalavoth, please let me know. I don't often get a chance to just chit-chat with these players and find out what their names are, because they're, really good at the game, and I'm bronze, so LOL. Ooh, Brandon looking to see if he can punish iFeed, but at the moment, the Falstad is playing safe and is still alive. Anub and Dahaka, with the last of this camp, are pushing into Chronicler. He does have his full Rage Bar, though, which means he will be healing very quickly. again, on the prowl. You get 9 health every second, increased by 2% per point of rage. So if he has 50 rage, that's double. That's 100% more. So that's 18 per second. There is a fight brewing here in the mid lane, though. Calivoth has to jump out. It is a 4v3. As in the top, this fort is down to half, and Concept is trying to make Chronicler's life more difficult. Chronicler does ping that Dahaka's in a difficult position, but he's going to walk away using the bushes. In the bottom, it seems like they have sniffed out that this is where their opponents have gone, but for now, they're not going to attempt to disrupt this Bruiser camp take. It will come out as it walks in the lane. Storm Brandon jumps onto Calivoth. He does get leaped on, but Fuzz gets bombed away. And now they're jumping onto Juan Pablo on this Greymane. But E-Bagatron and Dope Monster are just clearing at the moment. This will give a free Giants clear, but on the other hand, it will also allow BoomerGaming to clear this camp fairly quickly as Calivoth jumps back over, and the spell defense minion is booped over the gate. In the middle, the offlaners are doing offlaner things. Chronicler in a rough spot, manages to dodge the carnage, but gets caught and killed. I believe he got hit by the drag there, and that was enough to murderize him. They're chasing Fuzz here, though. Calivoth with the Skullcracker, looking to lock down the tank, but now Concept is coming in from behind. The low blow pool is down, but a great pull there by E-Bagatron. The tongue, the drag does catch Calivoth, though, and he is dead. And that has turned into a full level lead for the members of Inting for Globe, and this time the game is looking like it's far more in their favor. Calivoth is back up in 8 seconds. Hogger is heading towards the top lane. iFeed barrel rolls away from the aggression of this Greymane as 10s are about to be hit for Inting for Globes. Both shrines are captured. Juan Pablo looking to grab it. There's the low blow. He can't get out, and he is dead. iFeed's Falstad, the dwarf on a duck, is deceased in this dimension. Excellently placed puddle too, where it was in front of him, and they had interrupted his barrel roll, so he couldn't go through it. He had to try and move out of it where they were body blocking him. Up wasn't an option. Down was body blocking. Excellent pool placement there by Kavkavar, and it does lead to El Murdro. Now, Fuzz has jumped on Dope Monster, but he is all alone, meaning he gets blown away as the Falstad and E-Bagatron do come in. The Dragon Knight is rotating. Middle Fort has gone down. The puddle also comes down. Calivoth is here, but he's all alone, but the Dragon Knight helpfully moves him to safety. Thank you, says Calivoth. Or, sorry, he's murdered. Thank you! We still have 8 seconds and 25% health left on this Dragon Knight, so he'll simply finish off the gate here and back away because Greymane does not want to be caught in the same position Fuzz was moments ago. In the top lane, Concept is being targeted by iFeed and Calivoth. Calivoth being secret, but he hits the Stormbolt. They're looking to hit, but now Brandon is coming up. So is Stuka, but so is E-Bagatron. This is the weirdest piece-by-piece gank I've ever seen. They will stun the Kira. They're looking to hurt her. Oh, a great stun prevents the massive shove away. But now they're jumping, and the silence does come out on E-Bagatron. He'll go down. iFeed is getting low on Falstad. It is now a 5v5 team fight. Well, 5v4 with Anduin dead. The Shockwave will come out, and he knocks most of Inting for Globes into the team. Juan Pablo is low. Calivoth is at about a third, but they're also attacking the fort here, and it will go down to Inting for Globes. Without their healer, they are unable to truly defend here. So, we do have out for both teams heroic abilities. Chronicler needs to be careful. He has no fort to fall back to. We got the Cursed Bullet on Greymane. Oh, that bounce was not what he wanted. Cocoon on Fuzz. We have Death for Chronicler. What an interesting ultimate. We have the Final Strike for Kira, Isolation on Dahaka, and Massive Shove for Stukov. On our BoomerGaming red team, we have Avatar for Murden, we have an Invade from Inting for Globes, and I don't think there's much opportunity to counter this, but iFeed will try to get a few more stacks of his 48 stack secret weapon, no, Gathering Storm. And they are going to bop the Giants and kill them as the shrines come back in 25 seconds. We have Avatar, Gust, Shockwave. Oh, they're going to jump onto Calivoth and catch him, and even with the Avatar popped, that is a dead Dwarf King. And this is starting to look a little one-sided. After game number 1, I think maybe we'd all been hoping that we'd see another really good pushback from the members of Boomer Gaming, but they brought their brilliance in game 1. It's hard to show Inting for Globes that you're their equal 2 games in a row, for sure. We do have the Light Bomb again and the Rip Tire from our lanky Australian Junkrat. In the top, Dahaka has taken it. iFeed looking towards getting on this camp, or on the shrine, pardon me. Kira's already here, though. The drag will prevent Falset from getting on it, and Kira grabs it. The third Dragonite in a row goes immediately to Inting for Globes, and they do have 2 levels and a tier advantage. The Cocoon does come out onto Falstad. Dahaka walking over. Greymane coming up. Does he have his barrel roll? The instant lockdown, the instant isolation, the insta-murder. In the bottom, they are trying to respond to this Kira Dragonite, but it already has this fort down to half, but her health is down to already 20%. There is the boot on the Junkrat. Chronicler continuing to do the damage. Stormbrand taking a few shots from the tower, but they're taking down the gate on the top keep now. Calivolt is going to jump in, does have that light bomb, but Ebagatron's root means that Concept cannot grab a drag on the team. Brandon and Chronicler dueling it out in the bottom lane here, but very few characters comfortably duel Akira. She's very difficult, especially with an 8% stat differential. So, Juan Pablo 64 is going to take this camp with the help of Concept. Chronicler looking at Cav, Kavar, and Brandon looking to push this wave out. Fuzz gets caught by the trap here, which means iFeed does know that his opponent is here. Will we see another Cocoon into kill on... Well, there's the stun. There's the impale. Is he going to Cocoon him again? No. He's just threatening it. I think he was trying to see if he could get the gust out, but iFeed wisely holding on to that. Murden also cocooned here as the rest of Inting for Globes pushes the mid gate. Now they're going to rotate to this low health bottom fort. And they will be able to take it down. There's no safe rotation ability here for Boomer Gaming, and they are down that 16 tier. This is not a place you want to do a lot of fighting. The Impale does hit Calivo. He does get caught in a tongue. The low blow puddle. Death. And out comes this hog wild spin for Chronicler. Isolation will miss, but the silence puddle means Chronicler could not re-engage. And once again, the shrines activate in 25 seconds. Their giant camp will go over, and it's a 2.5 level lead for the members of Inting for Globe, who have managed to snowball every little opportunity they have in this game. They have taken, and they have taken it ferociously with both hands. And again, I've heard from other teams who have faced Inting for Globes, and they've said, you bring your best, you try to have some fun, you know you're not going home with the W. So it's nice to see that Boomer Gaming is still putting on their dancing hat. They're still trying to find ways to punish their opponents for making mistakes. And, you know, here's hoping a miracle happens and we get to see a Game 3, right? So it is 17-15. We're about a third of a level away. Calivo does get jumped on by Kira. So much damage. The silent spell comes out, but he does get the dwarf toss out. Out comes the final strike, but the cocoon was already onto Murden, so he takes no damage. The gust comes out, pushing 3 back, which does give Calivo the opportunity to stay safe, even momentarily. The Dragonite starts hitting the keep, but only gets a small percentage of damage on it. 16s will be reached momentarily, but there is a bruiser camp hitting the top keep as well, as the dragon rotates to the gate on the bottom. Calivold is jumping onto Juan Pablo. They're looking for an engage here as the Dragonite, but Calivold is all alone. Dope Monster trying to help. There's the pull from Ebagatron. The Riptire will come out as well. That's a lot of damage. They're putting out the Light Bomb, but a ton of damage. The Cursed Bullet comes out and they kill Calivold. Was it all just a bait? 16s have been hit now by the members of Boomer Gaming, but they're still 2.5 levels behind, and this gate will go down. There's no two ways about it. The Lurker Strain is there for Dahaka. He's invisible for the moment. The trap is there. It will go onto a Beetle. It's a 5v4 plus 4. Juan Pablo goes immediately onto here. They jump onto the Hogger, and he is no more a Knoll. He's a nope. Concept coming on the side, looking for the grab on Ebagatron. goes for the Lurker Stray, doesn't catch the Anduin, but the keep is down and they're looking at the core. This team is so aggressive when it comes to the end game. The Cocoon is out on Anduin. Calivolt is coming in. Fuzz is rooted. He's taking a lot of damage. He is killed by core. And now Concept also low. He shoots the isolation onto the fall stab, but Bagtron is healing. A good barrel roll, but the core is taking so much damage. They're attacking Juan Pablo. He's the real problem here. A stun onto Concept. They can't get onto Juan Pablo and Storm Brandon. The light bomb will come out. They catch the Dahaka. Dahaka's dead, but he's not because the core goes down first. And that is 2-0. A big domination there. Oops, wrong one. For Inting for Globes. Wowzer kabowzer. So we see here, well, we're just asking for an interview here. 11-3. This one was a bit more one-sided. Some fantastic play, and the Kira so aggressive and just so hard for the members of BoomerGaming to get their feet under them the way they would have wanted to. And again, they had so many good characters that had so many good opportunities to do things, but Inting for Globes never gave them the opportunity. Anytime they had an opportunity to have their foot on the throat, they just crushed them. So, here's the talents here. We're going to move to the best of 3 screen as we find ourselves a person to chat with. So, hello, how's it going? Oh, always my pleasure. So, who is unaverted at home? And by that I mean, which one of the characters are you? Brandon. So, now I've heard other heroic teams say that they know they're coming in for the L against Inting for Globes. You guys are an incredibly powerful team, but BoomerGaming did give you a lot of pushback in game number 1. Were you surprised at the level of play they brought, or were you aware that they had some big plans for Infernal Shrines? Gotcha. Number 2, much more decisive. Any particular reason for the Kira? Or I know you guys you often tend to just grab what you liked. Was there something about what you saw on the enemy team that made you grab the Kira for game number 2? Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Um, so, sorry, one moment. It turns out that my desktop audio isn't picking you up, so this is a totally one-sided interview for the for the audience. Uh, I yeah. Anyway, well, do you have any shoutouts that I can pass on, and then I'll have to call this to a close because I don't know how to fix this in the moment. I got a new headset and I didn't change everything. So, who would you like to shout out, and I'll pass it on. Thanks so much, Brandon. Congratulations on the domination, and yeah, enjoy the rest of your night. So, unaverted there, shouting out his team and the caster, like many kind people do. That was a very exciting game. Sorry about that, guys. Got a new headset, forgot to make sure everything in OBS still worked, so that is 100% on me. The VODs will be available on Twitch for 7 days, and after that, it'll be on YouTube tonight at some point if you'd like to see it. I've been Olmster. This was a 2-0 for Inting for Globes over BoomerGaming. I hope you have a great rest of your night and have a great start to your week. Today's Sunday. Let's go into Monday like we mean it. I hope you all have a great night and enjoy yourself some Heroes of the Storm.